when you have your own business and it's profitable, should you reinvest most of the profits in the business, or should you take some of the profits out and invest in a stock market, maybe some stocks that pay dividends? I've only been in business a few years myself, but my intuition tells me reinvesting in your own business is the way to go. I did a little math because I recently bought some British Petroleum stock. I thought, hey, it makes money. It's from anywhere. It's passive. It's not a huge dividend. It's like 6% dividend. And that sounded pretty good, stable for the rest of your life. But basically you do the math. TravelSource, which was the first company I started, small e-commerce company, camping utensils, camping gear. I invested $5,000 in that, and it broke even the first year. But then since the first year, it's making about $10,000 profit per year. It's pretty good. But British Petroleum stock, if I take the same $5,000 I invested in TravelSource and I put it in BP, their dividend on $5,000 is about $300 a year. So you do the math over a decade. BP stock, you've pretty much doubled your money between the dividend and how much you would expect the stock to appreciate. About $5,000, about $4,700. But TravelSource, it's making close to $100,000. So there's two things to consider. One is risk. You think, oh, it's risky to have it in your own company. At least you invest it in a stock. There's a lot less risk. But you realize you make more money in the first year of your business's profitability than you make in a decade with BP stock. So you realize that, yeah, I kind of do trust myself for 365 days to keep things working, rather than waiting 30 years for BP to give me a similar return. The other thing is BP stock, hey, totally passive. You don't have to do anything. Versus, your own company, you have to actively manage it. You're going to worry about inventory shipments, all these things. But even there, if you have a business and you're running it well, it becomes 95% passive. And you think about how much money you'd have to work for to invest in BP stock. It's not passive to earn so much money to then just pour into these stocks. It's not a passive thing to invest enough to really make enough money to live on when the dividend is only 5%. So my final thought is that generally business owners, if you have a business, you are generally a better manager of your own money than someone else. Simple as that. You can either choose to give the money to someone else, keep it in your own business. But if you have something and it's working, generally keeping it under your control and doing what you think is best with it is probably the best thing to do.